In the bustling city of Accra, Ghana, there was a small restaurant called Mama's Kitchen that was famous for its delicious stew. The restaurant was owned by a lady named Adwoa, who was known for her exceptional cooking skills. However, what the customers didn't know was that Adwoa had a dark secret. She had been using her menstrual blood to cook the stew in her restaurant. Adwoa believed that the blood gave the stew a unique flavor and texture that kept her customers coming back for more. Adwoa had learned the practice from her grandmother, who had been a traditional healer. Her grandmother had taught her that menstrual blood had powerful spiritual properties that could be used to attract customers and bring prosperity to the restaurant. At first, Adwoa's restaurant had been a huge success. Customers raved about the stew, and the restaurant was always packed. But as time went on, strange things began to happen. Customers who had eaten the stew started to report strange and terrifying occurrences. Some customers reported seeing visions of blood and death, while others reported experiencing vivid nightmares. Some even reported feeling a strange, creeping sensation on their skin, as if something was crawling under their flesh. As the reports of strange occurrences grew, Adwoa's restaurant began to lose customers. People were afraid to eat the stew, and the restaurant was on the verge of bankruptcy. But Adwoa was in denial. She refused to believe that her menstrual blood was the cause of the strange occurrences. She continued to use the blood in her cooking, convinced that it was the key to her restaurant's success. One day, a group of pastors from a local church came to the restaurant to investigate the strange occurrences. They had heard rumors about Adwoa's use of menstrual blood in her cooking, and they were determined to get to the bottom of the matter. The pastors searched the restaurant from top to bottom, looking for evidence of Adwoa's dark secrets. Finally, they found a small container hidden in the kitchen, filled with Adwoa's menstrual blood. The pastors were horrified, and they immediately called the police to report Adwoa's crime. Adwoa was arrested and charged with practicing witchcraft and using human blood in her cooking. As Adwoa sat in her cell, waiting for her trial, she began to realize the gravity of her mistake. She had let her desire for success and prosperity cloud her judgment, and she had resorted to using dark and evil means to achieve her goals. Adwoa's trial was a sensationalized media event, with reporters and camera crews packed into the courtroom. Adwoa's lawyer argued that she was not guilty of witchcraft, but rather of being ignorant of the laws and customs of the land. But the judge was not convinced. He found Adwoa guilty of practicing witchcraft and using human blood in her cooking, and he sentenced her to 5 years in prison. As Adwoa sat in her prison cell, she began to reflect on her past actions. She realized that she had been living in darkness and ignorance, and that she had been using evil means to achieve her goals. But as she reflected on her past, Adwoa also began to feel a sense of hope and redemption. She knew that she had made a terrible mistake, but she also knew that she could change and start anew. With the help of a prison chaplain, Adwoa began to study the Bible and learn about the teachings of Jesus Christ. She began to attend prayer meetings and fellowship with other inmates, and she slowly began to feel a sense of peace and forgiveness. As Adwoa approached the end of her prison sentence, she knew that she had been given a second chance. She was determined to use her newfound faith and knowledge to start anew and live a life of righteousness and integrity. After her release from prison, Adwoa returned to her hometown, where she was welcomed back by her family and friends. She began to attend church regularly and became involved in various community outreach programs. Adwoa also started a new business, a small bakery where she sold delicious pastries and bread. She worked hard to build up her business, and soon it became a popular spot in the community. As Adwoa looked back on her past, she was grateful for the lessons she had learned. She knew that she had made a terrible mistake, but she also knew that she had been given a second chance. And she was determined to use that chance to live a life of righteousness and integrity, and to bring glory and honor to God.